Okay, y'all. So I want to talk to y'all about the credit score and what actually affects your credit score. So this is the credit score anatomy. These are the different parts. You probably already saw this before. Payment history is 35%. Amount you owe, which is utilization. Your credit utilization is 30%. Length of credit history. How old is the average age of your credit, 15%. Inquiries, aka new credit, 10%, and the types of credit, aka your credit mix, is another 10%. Now check this out, y'all, because if y'all know exactly what y'all need to do to adjust your credit score to whatever you want it to be, then that will be more powerful for you, because then you know exactly what to do. So the lowest score you could ever have is a 300. The highest score you could ever have is an 850. So we go on the calculator and we say 850 minus 300, that gives us 550. 550 is the number that you could control. This is the number you could control. This number is what these percentages represent. So payment history is 35% of the 550, which means your payment history alone is about 193 points. That alone. So if you had a horrible payment history, you'll be missing 193 points. And I'm rounding it up to the nearest one. So that's how you know what actually affects your credit score. You see? So that's almost 200 points just in payment history. So one of the key things is you want to have your payment history as good as possible. Now, most of us do not have perfect payment history. So if you have maybe 2 or 10 missed payments, you need to increase the amount of payments you have that are positive to overwhelm the negative payments that you may have. That's how you get that extra 50, that extra almost 200 points back on your credit score. And then obviously the amount you owe. So we take the amount you owe, the utilization is about 165 points. That's easy to, for some people, it's easy to get that 165 points just by having your credit cards paid off in full if you use them correctly, and that will be in a different video. So I kind of broke it down right here for you guys. Hopefully you can see it. So the max score of your credit, so 35%, payment history 193. These are the max scores you could get. That all equals up to that 550, 556, but because you got one half of two of them, but it's around that. And then you can add that 300, it will give you that 850. Now obviously this is perfect, and most of our scores aren't perfect. So payment history is a big thing, and this is actually one of the simplest things we could take control of, believe it or not. If you have about 10 missed payments, how about you get 10 positive payments per month on your credit report? And those 10 missed payments is already there, but if you have 120 positive payments, on time payments a year, that's going to overwhelm those 10 missed payments and make that look less and less and less horrible than if you had maybe 5 extra positive payments a year against that 10 missed payments. That's a 50% missed payment ratio. You want to get that ratio as low as possible so it doesn't look as bad. So how do you do that? You flood your accounts. You get credit cards, you get lines of credit, and you become responsible with those. You get back in the game. Most people are not in the game enough. You're not playing hard enough. You don't have enough trade lines. You don't have enough on time payments to have a good score. Just like if you didn't have any credit, which is also considered bad, it's because you don't have any type of trade lines. You've done business with no one, and you're not doing enough business with enough companies. And that's the same problem even established adults have with their credit score. And this is why your credit score is underperforming. So you need to pump your credit score with on time payments. Do more business. So I'm going to give y'all a few trade lines, about a good 10 trade lines that you could add to your credit report, even if you have bad credit, because I had bad credit and I added these trade lines fine. I didn't get denied. As long as there's no bankruptcies, nothing like that on your credit report, you should be fine with these trade lines. Some of them do not even check your credit report. So even if you do have bankruptcies with some of them, you could get approved. But if you want to take advantage of all 10, then you would definitely have to have no bankruptcies at minimum. I don't know what the score you really need. Maybe you could have a 300 with some of them. It really depends. But let me just go ahead and show you guys. So the first one we'll be looking at is self-lender. Self-lender is basically, it's like a loan that it's kind of, it reports on your credit report as a loan, a secured loan that you go ahead and make monthly payments to, and they report positive payments to your credit report. It's actually like a savings account though. Every time you make a payment, it's going inside a CD. They just take a little bit of interest off, and they disclose that right before you sign up. Maybe if you do it's a $500 12-month plan, they only take like $100. So at the end of it, you'll get like about $450 after the 12 months. That basically you're saving your own money. And they're reporting to the credit bureaus that you are paying on time, that you have positive payment history with them. The other unique thing about self-lender is they have a secure credit card that you can add to it as an addition to their loan. And basically, the credit card will fund itself as a secure card, because secure cards, you have to make a security deposit. The security deposit will actually come from the actual loan proceeds that you have been paying. It would just basically like your savings, they're saying. So if you have $100, the minimum is $100. They will just take it from the savings portion of your loan, and then fund that secure card and send it to you. You do have to make 3 on-time payments to be eligible for the secure card, plus $100 at minimum. But that will allow you to have 2 trade lines with one company, which is awesome. So that's 2 down. The next card I will recommend is the Open Skies card. This card is a credit card. This card does not require a credit check. So they're just you just could go ahead and sign up. The minimum security deposit is $200. I forgot what the max is, but you could go ahead and start with the minimum at $200 if you want. And this does not do a credit check at all. So approval is almost, I can't say it's guaranteed, but it's very, very likely. I don't think they take people that has bankruptcies or anything like that. They just do like a soft pull just to make sure you don't have no bankruptcies or anything like that, I believe. But you could go ahead and double check. But yeah, this is a very easy card to get approved for. You go ahead and use it responsibly, just like any other credit card. Make sure you pay on time and actually pay in full. That's what I advise. Do not keep a balance. The only thing about this card, the caveat, is that I call it a fee hog because it does have a annual fee. I think it's $35. And it has a lot of other little fees if you pay late and stuff, but you shouldn't have to worry about that if you use it responsibly. It does not unsecure, so you will never get that money back unless you close the card, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a card in the first place. But I would just say keep it for a year or 2 or longer if you don't mind paying the annual fee until your credit score is where you want it to be, and then you could close it. The positive payment history will stay on your report for at least 7 years, if not 10 years. But you'll replace it with a new card, a better card, an unsecured card where you don't have to have your money tied up into it. So that's the only caveat with this card, is that you cannot get your security deposit back until you close it. Then we have the Open Skies Secure card by US Bank. This card actually, it has an annual fee as well. However, the minimum is $300 as a security deposit. The cool thing about this card is that it's by a big bank, which is US Bank. And after about 6 to 12 months, or 12 months right here, they do go ahead and consider you to unsecure the card. So they'll go ahead and give you your money back and then replace this card with an unsecured version of this card. And this is one of the only secure cards that you can earn flight miles with. That is so amazing. You could earn flight miles with this secure card. I don't know any other secure card that offers rewards, honestly. And this is you earn 1 mile for each dollar you spend. So this is an awesome card, and it's easy to get approved for. I owed Capital One a great deal of money, and I still got approved for this card. The only thing is they do manual reviews for each application, and they do a hard pull. So do be aware of that. And but it's an awesome card. If you could get it, go ahead and get it. Earn some flight miles as you use it. And also, be happy that you'll get your security deposit back after a year or so, and have an unsecured card and a positive relationship with a national bank, a U.S. bank. So that's awesome. Then we have another U.S. bank card. Yes, you could get both of them. This is just the plain Jane U.S. bank secure card. The minimum security deposit for this is $300, just like the Open Skies. This one does not offer rewards. However, it is a great card. There's no annual fee with it, and it does unsecure after a year or so, just like the Open Skies card. So it's a real good card. You could keep this for a long period of time, because it does convert, it graduates, and you'll get your security deposit back, and it has no annual fee. So this is one of the top-notch secure cards, and it's easy to get approved for. They do a manual review just like the Open Skies card, and you have a high chance of getting approved for this, because I got approved for it, and it was, it takes a little bit of time, like a week or something, for them to go ahead and make that decision for you. But most likely you should be able to get approved for it, as long as you have no bankruptcies, like I said. Then we have Grain. So Grain is it's called a fintech bank, which is like these new online banks that's trying to revolutionize the financial services industries as we know it, the banking industry as we know it. So Grain actually is a personal line of credit. It's not a credit card, but it kind of works as like a credit card because it's revolving credit. So they actually extend you up to $1,000, I believe, in line of credit. They don't do any credit checks. They just look into your bank account and see that you have cash flow. And then once they determine your cash flow eligibility, they'll go ahead and extend you a line of credit that you could utilize at any time. It takes a couple days for them to fund your debit card or whatever you want them to put the money on, and then you could just make minimum payments, automatic payments, or just like I recommend, just pay it in full. You could just grab it and you don't even have to use it, but it will report to your credit bureaus that you are positive. You have a positive relationship with them, on time payments. So that will look really good on your payment history. Right now, they only have the Apple, like you have to download their app through the App Store, and that's how you go ahead and apply. You basically link up your bank account, and they go ahead and determine your eligibility from there. Sometimes, depending on your bank account statuses, they may have you do a security deposit, but that only happened in one situation that I know of. Other than that, people have been getting these lines of credit with no problem. They may have some technical difficulties, but as far as with the app, but if you persist through it, you'll get your money. You'll have your positive trade line, and that's what it's all about, is boosting that positive payment history, so that you get that 200 points on your credit report. Then the next card is the Applied Bank Secure Card. They have two options. And also these are no credit check cards. These cards do not check your credit. They just do a soft pull. I believe they just check for bankruptcies or make sure you don't have anything like that. But they go ahead and they'll go ahead and approve you pretty easily. They have one where you don't have to make a security deposit, but it does have a big annual fee. I think about $95. I will not recommend that to anyone. I will recommend that you just go ahead for their secure card, which the minimum security deposit is $200. The APR is a lot lower, even though you're not going to worry about that because you're going to pay the payments on time, in full. You're not going to have a balance on this card. Another thing about this card is a little different from other credit cards is that soon as you charge it, that's when the interest start versus it starting after the billing cycle. So you be aware of that. Soon as you swipe this card, the interest begins hitting you. So you don't want to use this card like that. You just want to hold it in your wallet or your drawer just to have that positive relationship, that positive payment history being reported to your report. It does have an annual fee, so make sure you pay that. And it does not unsecure. It does not graduate. So this is a fee hog, just like the open skies. Keep it for a year or two just to build that positive payment history and get those and negate those negative payment histories that you have from the past. But this is an easy card to get approved for. There's no hard pull, no credit check. They just do a soft pull, and you should be able to get approved for this card pretty easily. Then the next is my Jester Club. So this is like a store credit card. This does have a heavy annual fee, which is $100. And you can only use the money at this jewelry store website, which is a costume jewelry, or some, I think they have some real gold stuff in here, but it's a little overpriced. I wouldn't say, hey, go get this card so you could go shopping or whatever, but it is a nice resource if you got like a bay or something that you need to grab something for, but you might want to shop somewhere else. Honestly, just get this for the $5,000 line of credit that they'll extend to you. And if you have like bad utilization already, this will actually help you out with that, because $5,000 is a significant amount to go against the utilization. And just maintain it for that purpose, and also for the fact that they'll report to the credit bureaus that you are making payments on time, and that you have a positive relationship with them. Now the thing is, you do have to go ahead and buy something from them to start off with. You go ahead and look at this stuff at your own leisure, but you have to buy something within $100 or more to be eligible for the application. But it's pretty simple. It's easy to get approved. They do a hard pull. I believe it was Experian, but they will let you know at the application. They do a hard pull. And it's like 150. I think I got something for like $100, and then they financed $50 of the $100, and then I had to pay the annual fee, so it came up to about 150. And then you go ahead and pay the rest, whenever you see fit, within the 30 days before any interest or anything start hitting you. You want to pay the full. Just don't use it no more. Just maintain it so you can get that positive payment history on your credit report. The next place is Credit Strong. Credit Strong. So let me go ahead to the Credit Strong website. So Credit Strong is just like Self Lender. Is like one of those savings that a secure credit builder. They call it credit builder accounts. So you basically pay into a savings, a CD, but on your credit report it comes up as a installment loan. So remember, these are credit cards, and now we got installment loans. So this is also building up your mix of credit, which is 10% of your score. The difference between Credit Strong and Self Lender is Credit Strong has different options when it comes to your credit. When it comes to actual payments. So the minimum you could do is $15 a month. I do not recommend it. I will recommend somewhere in the build and save area, like the $48 to $96. Or if you want to prime yourself for business credit, you might want to go with one of their Magnum products, like the $110. And this is because when you go buy a house, or when you go apply for business credit, they don't just look at your score. They will actually see what you've been paying on. And if you have something like something like a $15 a month, yeah, that might make your score look good, but that doesn't tell them that you can handle debt too well. So that will probably be overlooked on a mortgage application or a business credit application, because they say, hey, okay, $15 a month, that doesn't tell us nothing. But if they see that you've been paying $110 a month for the last 2 years on a $10,000 loan, that tells them that you're responsible. That shows a little bit more clout in your area. So just take that in consideration. Are you really just trying to inflate your score, or are you really trying to build credit for the long term? If you're trying to build credit for the long term, then I will go with one of either a high, like a $96 a month, or a Magnum product. Magnum product is specifically for long term installment, getting bigger, mortgages and business credit loans. Moving on to the next, we have the Tomo Cart. The Tomo Cart is another fintech bank. They do not do a credit check. This is also a card that gives you rewards that actually give you cash back. It's a charge card, kind of like American Express. They do give you a line based on your cash flow, kind of like Grain, and you use this card, you get your cash back, and then it pays itself within a week. So it's automatic payments, and they'll draw it every week. So you'll use this card as like a everyday expense card. You will replace your debit card with this card, which is safer. I do advise that you use a credit card over a debit card. And plus you get the accolades of the cash back. However, the only drawback with the Tomo Cart is you have to get on their waiting list. You have to go ahead and type in your email. Go ahead and you hit see if you pre-approve. It's going to ask you your name and stuff like that, your address, I believe, and then it's just going to say, hey, you're on a waiting list. It takes about a month and some change just to get the full application and get your card. So you're going to be waiting a while for this card. I'm actually still waiting for this card. But it is a good card. It reports to all 3 credit bureaus, positive payment history. Okay, so that was actually 10. If you go through all these, that is 10, including the self-lender and its card. That is 10 positive trade lines that you could add on. If you did 10 positive trade lines every month, you times that by 12, that's 120 on-time payments a year. I'm pretty sure you never had that many on-time payments a year. Not many people have that many accounts. You will definitely negate most of those bad things. And if you get with Abundance America and let me do some credit repair for you, we're going to take some of those collections off. We're going to take some of those negative payments off, so you could really boost your credit score and live the life of your dreams. Stop walking around here with a 550. Stop walking around here with a 300 or a 450 credit score, with anything lower than a 750. So you could go ahead and get that house, so you could go ahead and get that car, so you could go ahead and do what you want to do. Get the credit cards that let you in the airport lounge, that massage your back in the chairs and serve you margaritas while you're waiting for your flight. Like, you gotta, and you an adult, you gotta be responsible. You gotta have good credit. You can't be walking around here with bad credit. So that's my spill. I hope this was educational. I hope you saw value in this. And stay tuned for the future videos. This is Daquan, president of Abundance America, and I'm out.